What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. We're going to talk about Luke Kennard and the Clippers agreeing to a 4-year, $64 million extension. The Los Angeles Clippers and them agreed to this deal today. Kennard deal includes a $56 million guaranteed in money with a majority of the incentives considered reachable, which means he can make, the max if he can stay healthy. They obviously traded for Kennard this offseason, and he was battling a lot of injuries last year. And I'll let you guys know that when they ended up trading for him, that he's not fully healthy. He has bad knees, but as we seen in Detroit, Luke Kennard was a guy that was up for a contract extension. So it made sense that the Clippers, if they were going to trade for him, that they was going to try to retain him. Obviously, he is a guy that can break down defenses and get his own shot, but he also is a guy that can come off screens and knock down mid-range and threes, while also being a solid playmaker that can set up guys playing the pick and roll from time to time and get his own shot off on a lot of different type of defenders. Obviously, they didn't want Landry Shamet. They wanted a guy that can do a little bit more, and that's what they got in Luke Kennard. They have one of the best duos in the league in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard that's going to take the bulk of the creation and scoring on this team. And they still do have Lou Williams currently, who also can play, make, and score. And adding another guy like Luke Kennard was the direction that they wanted to go in. Guys that can do multiple things offensively. And Luke Kennard definitely can do those things, in my personal opinion. And that's one of the biggest reasons why they ended up trading for him. So is Luke Kennard worth $64 million? I don't think so. I'm not as high on Kennard because of the injuries, and we don't know the severity of them. Plus, Luke Kennard, I don't really see him having a huge role on his team as long as they have the team currently constructed, because they don't need him to do much because they already have a lot of guys that's going to create and get their own shot. And even though you rather have Kennard than a lot of other guys, is he really worth the double-digit pay when he's not going to have a huge role on this team? And you look at the fact that they picked Nicholas Batum up too, who you probably rather have play over because he's more longer and more rangy and can defend and guard multiple positions more than Kennard can, because Kennard is not really known for his defense at all. So I'm not as high on Kennard, for a team like Detroit. I can see it because they needed scoring and they needed somebody to do that. But on a team like this, they honestly don't need a Kennard because they have so many guys that does it better and at a more higher level than Kennard. So I want to see how they're going to use him and what they're going to do with him, because he is a quality player. He is an NBA player. He is a rotational player in this league, and he showed that in Detroit. He took advantage of the opportunity. They needed him to do more, and they cashed in on it. And it makes sense. He's not a bad stats team guy. This guy can actually play, and this guy can actually shoot. But on a team like the Clippers that don't really need him, and if they do, he's going to be really a 15 to 25-minute guy. I don't see him playing a role bigger than that on this team the way it's currently constructed. And in that case, I don't really believe that he's going to be worth the $64 million. It's not as terrible because 56 of it is guaranteed, so it don't look as bad. But with the incentives being reachable for him, he's probably going to get up to that number. And the only thing that really saves this deal is that it's over 4 years. That's the only thing that makes this deal look a lot better, is that it's a 4-year deal, so the numbers don't hurt as much because it's a long-term deal. It's not a 2-year 64 or a 3-year 64. You paying him a little bit above average for a player like him, but it's not the worst deal that I have seen. If they give him a 4-year, $50 million deal, maybe I'd be more on board with that. But the extra 14 million, I wasn't feeling it. I'm not really liking this for this particular team. Now he is a guy that they probably can move in the future, because we don't know how they're going to keep this team together And we don't know how they're going to perform because they made a lot of moves and a lot of changes to their team and their roster this offseason, and we really don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work because they have so many new pieces. Plus, they have a new coach that's going to, play differently and change, a lot of their schemes. So it's a lot of unknown with the Clippers. I feel like they had a decent summer. I don't feel like they got significantly better. I also don't feel like they got significantly worse. And they still do have Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Lou Williams and Beverly and those guys. And they still have one of the best coaches, so they should be fine. But I'm not going to trip. If this is a 4-year, $56 million deal at the end of the day, it's not terrible. But if he does get up to the $64 million deal, they overpaid him for this current team. Like I said, if this was a different team, I can see it. But for a team like the Clippers, I don't really feel like they needed to get a Kennard, and I also don't feel like they needed to pay him this amount of money. If this was the Knicks, if this was the Hawks, I can see it. But since it's the Clippers and they already have this position filled by a landslide, they got Morris, they got Williams, they got Leonard, they got Paul George. I don't really feel like they needed to make this the move, and I don't really feel like they needed to pay him this amount of money. So that's just my opinion. For this particular team, it's an overpay, but I can definitely see him getting this amount of money on a lot of other teams. So I guess it ain't as bad if he does get it because he's movable, if he can stay healthy. But remember, the knees are bad, and he's not the most athletic guy, not the most dominant guy, but he is a solid player in the league. So I guess at worst, if he don't live up to it, you paying him $56 million, and if you don't like him, you can possibly move him for 2 second rounders, maybe a late first round pick, and then you just move forward with a in a different direction than him. But like I said, Kennard is a solid player, and he is a rotational player, and he is possibly even a starter level player depending on the team. But just for this current team, I think it's not a good deal for them, in my personal opinion. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook. Thanks for everybody that continues to check that out. Also, you can buy merchandise that's exclusively on my Facebook page, whether it's hats and shirts. You can change the color of the hat, change the color of the shirt, pick the logo you want, customize the shirt or the hat the way you want it to be. Message me and I can get it shipped out to you. Thanks for everybody that continues to do that. You can also support the channel by buying merchandise on my spread shirt. That's a place where you can only buy that type of merchandise there. That will also be in the description in the comment section below. Also, feel free to like and share. I appreciate that because it allows me to reach more people. The more people I reach, the more people that see the video, the channel can continue to grow. Basically like word of mouth. So you enjoy the video and you liked it, share it and like it. That can help the channel grow. Also, feel free to let me know if I'm right, if I'm wrong, if I'm crazy. I read every single comment, so feel free to let me know what you guys think about what I said on this video. Also, if you're new to the channel, I make breakdowns of players, legends, rookies, also summer league coverage, even summer league breakdowns when it does happen. NBA draft coverage, also cover season previews, top 10 lists, playoff predictions, also discussions of the hottest topics like this, and also, other NBA content. So if you're new to the channel, I have over 2,000 videos on this channel. So if you want to see what I offer and you want to see what I bring to the table, check out those older videos. Other than that, when I look at the Clippers team, they was a team that a lot of people felt they was in a situation where is basically them or the Lakers. And obviously that didn't happen. So they had to make some dramatic changes because this is a championship or bust team. Once you make the commitment that they made, bringing in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, you expected them to take this team to another level and get them to where they wasn't. They was a team that was a borderline playoff team, and they gave the Golden State Warriors a scare. Then they bring in two all-star, superstar caliber players, and they expected results. And now they have changed more this offseason with the coach and the more personnel changes. Now it's just about what are they going to do to actually get the ship. And you know, that's going to be the question for the Clippers fans, and that's just the reality for the Clippers. Until they really show that they are a dominant team, you know, we will question, was getting Kawhi Leonard and Paul George worth it if you can't even get to the NBA Finals? That's going to be the biggest questions in the next 1 or 2 years. Was Kawhi Leonard and Paul George the right decision at the end of the day if they never won a title or even get to the finals? So that's something to be on the lookout for. Other than that, Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, signing out. Enjoy the rest of y'all day.